You came here because you clicked on a thumbnail which said I would reveal the secrets about fancy, expensive cameras, maybe the smartphone that you carry in your pocket. Well, if you clicked, I'm going to reveal those secrets as we go further into this video. And keep this as short as possible. And once again, I've taken no notes. This is actually budget information that's on here. So there's no outline. But I do have the ability to tell how much time I am talking on here. The other two, I've uploaded two videos recently. One, I was just kind of talking about a little bit about my experience, I think, being a Navy photographer. I'm going to continue with that theme in some of the things that I share, but I'm also going to talk about the camera phone and the DSLR. If you looked at the last video that I had, if you have not, check that out. Please, it will help quite a bit. I am trying to, one, I want some feedback from my audience to say, hey, you want this or you want this, don't want this, stop talking at all and just post some photos for goodness sake and talk about those things. Here's the challenge. I relocated to the Philippines and I was traveling light as the world light chaser. I left my my hard drives in another location with my son, and I'm trying to get those back and put up on there. There's a lot of, all my stuff is on there. I didn't have anything backed up into the cloud except for maybe about 150 photos. I had some stuff on my my MacBook Air. I had stuff that's uploaded onto Facebook and Instagram over the years, and that's what I'm working with right now as far as the archives. For the rest of you, if you know me as a Navy photographer, I'm going to put this out on my Facebook and some of the photography groups that are out there. If you have pictures of me doing my job, please send those to me, and maybe I will use those in some of our episodes that we will have coming up. I had a good conversation with a friend of mine, and she's like, hey, you know what? You should, talk about these things and some of your experiences and the stories that you have in the Navy. I will do that, and that's what my plan is. When you came here, I said specifically to say whether or not I thought the DSLR or your camera phone is just good enough. I think this has been discussed ad nauseum over the last couple years, back and forth. There's a lot of channels that are out there that put all the technical specs and all that other stuff. There is a place for both of these things, but if you don't believe that you can create good quality images with the smartphone that you have in your pocket most of the time with you, then you really just need to spend some time with that camera that's on your phone and look at pictures that you've taken and then compare those to what other people have taken. And I said, if you're taking stuff that you like and you get joy out of that, then keep on doing whatever you're doing with that, because that's the whole purpose of photography, is to bring joy to yourself and to others who maybe say they like that. But that's not to say then, because you're going to get better photos, of going out and purchasing a couple $1,000s worth of camera equipment. That will never make you a better photographer. I say that there are some caveats to that. You may be able to capture photos in a different way that you were never able to before because you spent a bunch of money on a lens, and that's probably where your biggest bang for your buck is going to be, is your lens. Because most cameras that have been released probably in the last 5 years for sure have all of the features that you could ever use. And I say that some of you come up there and say, no, that's not true. For the most part, I said, if you're just talking about pure image capturing, that's the truth. I said, you don't need to spend $15,000 or $5,000 or $4,000 or probably even 3,000. There's a channel that's out there that it discovers, goes through like the $500 camera setup, and you produce great stuff. Again, I am this year traveling with just my camera phone, the GoPro Hero 11, and I do have the Sony the Olympus TG6 Tough camera. That's it. No interchangeable lens cameras. I got rid of all of that. My thing is if you follow me on Instagram, World Light Chaser, WORLD, the same thing as this channel. You'll see the stuff that I shot. Primarily, almost all of it's on my smartphone. There's very few things, and it's this year. I said right now I don't have access to most of my imagery that I shot with a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. So I don't have any of that. So again, going out this year, my end is on the smartphone that you have, even the entry-level cameras on most of either your Apple or your Samsung. This is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus, and my bet is on this, that you can produce a very high-quality image on just your smartphone. No need to buy a DSLR. There are some very specific things, and we'll talk about those later on in my channel at some point. But that's it. That's my conclusion, is that neither one is necessarily better or worse than the other. They just have different functions. And in the words of my Sea Daddy, retired Master Chief Terry Mitchell, the best phone to have is the camera that you're going to have with you. And most likely it's going to be one of these, folks. And that's all I have. That's a wrap. I'm going to keep it under 7 minutes. And if you have not, like and subscribe. If you've stuck around with me this long, that's fantastic. We'll catch you on the flip side.